hard-working people. Let's drink to the lonely of birth. Raise your glass to the good and the evil. Let's drink to the salt of the earth. Say a prayer for the common foot soldier. Spare a thought for his back-breaking work. Say a prayer for his wife and his children. Who burn the fires and who still till the earth.
So they say he was juggling the ball. And what Butch Davis is saying right now is we ran another play. And like I said, in the history of replay, Gus, once another play has been run, I have never seen them go back and say we're replaying another play. And I mean, this is serious stuff here in Cleveland. This is a playoff spot potentially on the line.
And it's getting ugly here in Cleveland.
And it's getting ugly here fast.
So Jacksonville will take the football back at the 10-yard line. Because of this, they say this is an incomplete pass.
Boy, I don't know. He had those 2 feet down. Then you see the ball coming out.
But what the fans are upset with is the Browns were able to get to the line of scrimmage and run another play. But then the officials went back 2 plays and made the ruling. They said that there was a malfunction with the communication system between the replay officials in the booth and the officials on the field. And here was the play. They snapped it before the referees or the officials were able to stop the game.
And we were talking about the potential grounding call, but the Jags were talking about the play prior.
And the rules are pretty specific. Once another play is run, it can't be reviewed.
And so they were talking about the malfunction in the system. That's what the replay booth has called and told us. But we don't make the rules.
And bottles have been thrown on the field.
And that's one thing that we haven't had since replay has come back. We haven't had that situation, Gus, where another play has been run and we've gone back.
Fortunately, those bottles are plastic. But these Cleveland fans are irate. And they're trying to clear the end zone.
Yeah, well, the Cleveland fans aren't helping any right now by throwing stuff on the field. They got no better than that. And it's frustrating. The players are frustrating as well. And the players are sitting on the sideline looking around dazed, trying to figure out how this happened. And
Butch Davis still arguing his case.
And we've just never seen that. Once the play is run, it's all over. And you see teams before try to get up to the line of scrimmage and run another play so they can get beyond the review if they feel it's going to go against them.
So,
well, what the officials need to do is they need to get on the PA and get control of this game and get control of the fans. They're letting it get out of control because they're not communicating what's going on. Take some control down there and get this situation going. Let us know why and what happened. Talk about the other play being run off, because that is an unusual situation. You've got to let everybody know why this is happening, because just like up here in the booth, nobody has any idea what's going on because they're not telling us.
The Browns came into this game with 6 wins, hoping to keep their playoff hopes alive, needing a win today over Jacksonville.
Well, the one thing you got to do if you're the officials right now, if the ball is indeed Jacksonville, then just call the game and get these guys off the field. It's not worth somebody getting hurt. If the fans are going to throw crap on the field, take control and get the players off the field, because this is ridiculous. Just get rid of the...
So let's take a look back. Tim Couch. Here he is. Watch the referee in the left part of the frame. And that referee is not blowing anything dead until after the ball was spiked. And now they're going to call the game.
That is the end of the game.
Unbelievable. Now they call the game.
Well, that was the right
48
call.
seconds to go.
Yeah, you got to take...
I think this has been just a fiasco by the referees today.
Well, that was the right call. You got to end the game. If the fans are throwing crap on the field.
Especially when you consider how big of a game this was for the Cleveland Browns. This is ridiculous.
Well, I'll be anxious to hear the official explanation of the way that replay situation came down, because once another play is run, you can't go back.
And these officials really need to get off the field.
And you know what? The fans got to stop throwing crap. We just saw a guy get hit in the head and he's down, split his head wide open. The fans have got to control themselves. People are getting hurt. It's ridiculous. You're only hurting yourselves by throwing stuff on the field.
And the officials are pummeled as they head into the locker room. And Butch Davis is speechless. He doesn't know what to say or what to do.
When I search a faceless crowd.
Next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here. You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati.
A swirling mass of gray and black and white. They don't look real.
Mayhem seemed to follow John McGraw wherever he went. When he got into a fist fight with the opposing third baseman in Boston in 1894, both benches emptied. Fans began brawling. Someone set the stands on fire. And the entire wooden ballpark and 170 neighborhood buildings went up in flames.
To me, in fact, they look so strange.
Next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here. You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati.
To me, in fact, they look so strange. Lazy glass to the hard-working people.
The 2-1 pitch. There's a fly ball hit out to left. Waiting is Jones. The Mets are the world champions. Gary Koosman being mobbed. Look at this scene. Tore this ballpark apart when the Mets clinched their division. Sport Magazine has declared Don Clendenon as the outstanding player of the series. And he wins himself a new Dodge. And it was a come-from-behind victory for the Mets today. They were trailing 3-0. Stay tuned now for a recap. The celebration of the new world champions of baseball, the New York Mets. The final score: New York 5 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Baltimore 3 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. Can you get Gil? Harold? Yeah. Harold, can you get Gil? Gil! Come on, John. Gil! Can't hear you, Lou. Okay. The bedlam continues on the field here at Shea Stadium, and there's also bedlam in the Met clubhouse. And let's switch down now to Lindsey Nelson.
Next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here. You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
Let's drink to the uncounted heads. Let's think of the wavering millions. He's leading, but the gamblers instead.
The team had started the year 0-11, which was awful, except that people thought, you know what? We're going to get O.J. That was the year O.J. Simpson came out.
Right at the point where you're happy that they're losing games, they start to win games. Now the season is truly a total loss because now you're just a bad team. You're not the worst team, which is what you wanted to be, but you're just a bad team.
People arrived at the game. They found their seats covered with a half a foot of snow, and it was cold, it was windy, it was a nasty December day. They had a Christmas pageant every year. Santa Claus never showed up that day. The guy they had booked to be Santa looked out his window that morning and said, "Foot of snow, I'm staying home." And they began halftime with no Santa. They looked around the stands, and there was a 19-year-old kid who had that morning dressed as Santa to go to the game.
The last game of the year, every year, I would go dressed as Santa.
5'6", 140 pounds, undersized kid with a ratty, scraggly Santa Claus outfit, terrible little costume. But they go up to him and they pull him and they say, "Listen, our Santa didn't show up. You want to be the guy."
And he said, "Just walk down the center of the column and wave to all the sections of the stadium."
The fans were in such a bad mood, none of us wanted to see Santa Claus to begin with.
It's a bad game. It's a cold day. They're sitting in their rear ends in snow. And here comes this lousy little Santa running down the field. So they start to boo.
You hear the booing. You hear it. I said, "Well, you know, I understand what's going on here. You know, they're not booing me. They're just booing Santa Claus. They're booing everything."
He was a sitting duck. I mean, you could have imagined that there was going to be trouble just because he was so close.
As I was starting to walk back, I saw the snowball starting to come, and then I started getting hit with them.
And all of a sudden, Santa Claus is dodging and ducking, and there's a full stadium full of people just wailing away at Santa Claus.
I actually remember feeling a little twinge of anxiety that they might really hurt Santa.
I remember watching a fella make a snowball and throw it at me, and I just walked up to him, you know, at the bottom of the wall there, and I said, "You're not getting anything for Christmas."
When he dies, you already know what the first line of his obituary is going to say. Frank Olivo, the Santa Claus who got pelted with snowballs that winter day in 1968. That's who he will be for the rest of his life.